So, look, man, I mean, the reason I pulled this up was because I couldn't help but say something whenever I saw this. CD Projekt confident, they're talking about CD Projekt Red, right? The company that makes like the Witcher games and Cyberpunk and everything. They're confident that they can self-fund all new game projects. They've got like 3 more Witcher games in development right now. I think they've got another game in development also. But look, the thing I said whenever I pulled this up was they should be able to fund their projects without outside help. When you bait 13 million people into buying a game that's unfinished on release, you know, you're making a lot of money off people. You should have plenty of money. And that was just retail for Cyberpunk, and it was a hot piece of garbage on release. You know, I can't help but continue to, and look, man, I'll at least give CD Projekt Red some props for coming out and being publicly open about the fact that they have recognized that they've made mistakes, and I hope that is the beginning of them trying to do better. But this is their MO, dude. Literally their MO. CD Projekt Red is now, for me, and I think a lot of other people, known to be a company that releases very unfinished products, and they feel like it's okay to release unfinished products, unfinished software, finish it after release, make us as the consumer pay the price, and then do a really good job on expansion content. It's literally who they are. I am hopeful that they change moving forward. That will never be acceptable to me. Releasing unfinished software is not acceptable. And I hope that by them admitting and being able to look internal and go, yo, we made a lot of mistakes with Cyberpunk, shouldn't have released, things like that. I'm hoping that means that they are going to do better moving forward. But we'll see. We'll see. CD Projekt is confident that it can fully self-fund all new projects and games. Current multi-year, multi-game strategy will be independently financed. CD Projekt Group is confident it can self-fund all 5 of its new video game projects, including a new Witcher trilogy. Yep. The first one, I think their biggest one they're making right now is codenamed Polaris. Following 2015's best-selling The Witcher 3 and 2020's record-breaking Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt has been able to consistently generate high sell revenues from its games. During Cyberpunk's controversial launch, the company sold 13 million copies, like I just said, and made $541 million in sales, almost 5 times the budget of the game. Look, and this was just on retail release of the game. This 13 million number here, understand this, was just on pre-sale, pre-orders of the game, and within about a 2-week period of the game's release, selling retail copies. This does not include the amount of retail copies they have sold since. Okay? And people get upset at me for calling out this company because a lot of people are CDPR blind. They love CDPR. And I'm not going to deny the fact that CDPR is one of the best video game developers out there at content. But the performance of their software on release is almost always balls. Absolute balls. And that is not acceptable. So this is what I've been like. I'm glad they put these stats in here, because this is what I've been trying to elaborate on and get across to people through the entirety of what has happened over the past 3 years of them releasing that game, and people are like, oh, well, but they stuck with it and the game's good now. Dude, they don't get props for doing that. They don't get awards. They don't get accolades. They shouldn't. They have, but they shouldn't. No company should. No company should get a pat on the back and a good job from anybody for finally making a game be what it should have been on release. It should have been that way on release. They don't get a flipping thumbs up. They don't get a pat on the back. They don't get accolades for finally making a piece of software what it should have been on release. That's a bad mindset by us as consumers. It creates a bad situation for us as consumers as well, where it makes developers feel comfortable in releasing products unfinished. Because they're like, oh, well, they'll still buy it, and as long as we fix it, they'll be okay with it. Then that is not good for us. Alongside a multifaceted business model that includes a fully fledged software distribution storefront, the sci-fi shooter's performance helped CD Projekt amass a significant asset pile to fund future games and growth. Cyberpunk has seen various price fluctuations and releases, including steep discounts post-launch, a Game of the Year style re-release for the next-gen consoles, and the standalone launch of the Phantom Liberty expansion. The company also re-released The Witcher 3 for PS5 and Xbox Series X, which was also having a ton of issues on release. This cyclical product slate is often used in the industry, and it's a key part of CD Projekt's business model. Armed with years of successful game sales across both retail and digital channels, CD Projekt's management believes that there's plenty of funds for its large multi-year project slate. This plan includes video games and transmedia. In a recent interview with Polish newspaper Parkiet, CD Projekt CEO Adam Kaczynski talks about the firm's financial guardrails that help ensure long-term success and continued investment. There have been various difficult situations in the history of CD Projekt so far. We have drawn conclusions from them and have been operating on the principle of having large buffers for years. We feel safe with the cash we have that we baited people into giving us on the release of unfinished games. I added that at the end, but let's be fair, that's what they did. Our strategy is well calculated. We believe that we will implement it from the start to finish using our own funds. We do not need to reach for additional sources of financing. So, people don't like whenever I call out CDPR. Truth hurts. Truth hurts. I never want a game to be bad. You know what I mean? I don't. I really don't. But what I'm always going to do here is try and be very, very careful about trying to promote the really good companies in this industry that are doing good by us as gaming enthusiasts and consumers. I'm going to call out the ones that deserve to be called out as far as being a little bit hesitant about what they've done to us over the course of history, like CDPR has done. And I'm absolutely going to continue to try and educate people about those companies that I feel you should absolutely stay away from, you know? And I think CDPR, while again, I think it's hard for a lot of companies to match the kind of content that they make. Their content's fantastic. It's super immersive. It's like, dude, The Witcher 3 was an absolute roller coaster of such great content. You got a lot of laughs, you got thrills, you got drama. You know, it was a very good game. Obviously, that's why so many people loved it. The content's good. I think they missed out on some quality of life stuff in that game. But, you know, if you want all of my, you know, every time I finish a game, I give a breakdown. I've got game ending playthroughs and stuff on both the Twitch and YouTube channel. If you want to see my entire overview of The Witcher 3 and my breakdown of my play and everything, then you can just find the playthrough ending, and I'll give a review of the game. But it doesn't negate the fact that if the game's performance is balls, you can't enjoy the content anyways. And CDPR is very, very bad at releasing games in a fairly polished state. As a matter of fact, they're really good at releasing games in a very unfinished state. And that's not fair to us. And so I think people should be very, very hesitant about buying into their products moving forward in any kind of pre-order or on release fashion until they show us that they can do better. As with so many other companies that do this to us, you know?